it's me again. I have made an effort to do a little bit more decluttering should I say. I've been filling up the rubbish bags here, and I came across this, I thought I would have a quick read through this before I threw it out. An interesting magazine here on Derbyshire Now. This is Spring 2020 issue called Issue 8, and this website looks quite useful here. I'll just show you a picture of it. It is www.derbyshire.gov.uk/wellbeing. So I think that's a good website to look at. And I saw, interesting news. Apparently the Buxton, the old building, do you know how Buxton in Derbyshire and the Peaks was known traditionally for being a spa town? It's where they had the Buxton spring water, and they had thermal spas there. And the listed Buxton Crescent, the jewel in Buxton's crown, is set to reopen as a luxury hotel and spa. It's being managed by international spa hotel chain Insana, and the hotel will feature 81 luxury bedrooms, function rooms, bar area, restaurant, thermal spa, rooftop pool, cafe, 3 pools, salt cave and 3 saunas. And it has the website for that. I mean, I don't know what's happened during lockdown, whether they managed to finish the building. Obviously they wouldn't be able to be open right now, but I think it would be quite amazing to see when it does open. And there's a write-up here on Florence Nightingale. I didn't realise that she spent a lot of time here in Derbyshire. So I'll read this out to you because I think this is really interesting. This is on page 9 of the Derbyshire Now magazine. And here's a picture they have of Florence Nightingale. She apparently spent time in the villages in Derbyshire called Holloway Hills, and Wat Standwell. And she was a benefactor there. She would pay for doctors' visits and hospitalizations and medical help for the sick in impoverished villages, so the people that lived in those villages. And of course she's well known for her work during the wartime. Yes, as well as her nursing skills, it was her expertise in administration and arranging supplies and sanitation for the British soldiers that were hospitalised during the Crimean War. She founded the Nightingale School of Nursing in London, raising the art of nursing from a menial employment to an honoured vocation, and her ideas on training nurses were copied throughout the world. So and also another interesting fact, I didn't realise that Florence was actually born in Italy. She was born in Florence, and apparently that's where her parents got her name from. She was named Florence after the city in Italy that she was born in. She was born in 1820 on the 12th of May. And so I think that's it for that magazine. And then another thing I came across was this magazine from In Touch here, and this one is actually from March. It's a few months old now, Tuesday the 3rd of March, and this little article is called A Living Hope, and it's focused on 1 Peter 1 verses 1 to 9, and I'll read it out to you because I think it is quite interesting. Hope is a belief or expectation that something will happen. If it doesn't, we may experience discouragement, depression, or even despair. So how can we remain hopeful? First, remember the reason for our confidence, our relationship with Jesus. At salvation, we're born into a living hope. 1 Peter 1 verse 3. God made us a new creation and we are no longer slaves to sin. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 17. His Spirit lives in us. We've been made co-heirs with Christ, and our true home is in heaven with him. Second, spend time in the Word. Romans 15:4 says that the Bible was written to give us encouragement and hope. The Psalms can be especially helpful in difficult times because they express the writer's real feelings and provide comfort. So when I got that, I retrieved my Bible. There are so many different versions of the Bible, and this one I like is from Dr. Robert Schuller, called the New Possibility Thinkers Bible. And what he's done in here is all the positive, anything that's positive, like happy and uplifting, he's highlighted in sort of orange highlighted text. So if you're wanting to get, this is particularly good, if you're wanting to get inspiration and some positivity back into your life, you can open up the Bible and then just go straight, you can just flick through it and go straight for those texts marked, highlighted in orange. So that's why I like this one. Right, what else does he say? Third, rely on the Lord's faithfulness. Trusting him will always turn out for our good. Believers shouldn't react to trials the way the world does. Instead, we are to live by faith. Confidence in what we hope for. Hebrews 11:1. When circumstances overwhelm you, focus on Jesus. Look for encouragement in his word and be reminded of what is yours in Christ. Ephesians 1:3-8. So I got my little book back out. It's Psalms. I must admit, these are my favourite books in the Bible. I like Psalms, but I also like Proverbs, which is just after Psalms. Well, not far from it. I like the Proverbs with the stories that have tales. So stories that have meanings, morals to the story. So I'll read you a little bit of what it says in here at the beginning of Psalms. It has a little thing where it says key. They've got a little bit of sort of explanatory writing. Key to Psalms, the key word, worship. The central theme of the book of Psalms is worship. You'll notice actually that quite a few of the hymns that we sing at church are Psalms, or have been based off of the Psalms. The central theme of the book is Psalms and worship. God is worthy of all praise because of who he is, what he has done and what he will do. His goodness extends through all time and eternity. The Psalms represent personal responses to God as they reflect on his program for his people. Many of the Psalms survey the word of God and the attributes of God, especially during difficult times. This kind of faith produces confidence in his power in spite of circumstances. The two central themes of Psalms are worship and praise. Okay, well, I'll just to finish this video, I'll just read out to you the very first verse in Psalm 1. Blessed, and I'll show you the text up there. Here we go. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands in the path of sinners, nor sits in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law he meditates day and night. He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that brings forth its fruit in its season, whose leaf also shall not wither, and whatever he does shall prosper.